See how that goes. That works. Cool. Nice. Amazing. Right, let me just post that we're online. Welcome everyone to the stream. How we doing? Just yeah, setting some things up. Be starting in just a minute. Been trying to do this sort of dual streaming to YouTube, you see, and just trying to put my laptop out here on the side while still that dual streaming going. I'm doing everything very last minute. But how's everyone doing? Welcome, welcome. Post I'm live. Okay. Cool. I guess we do the pop-up chat. We could do that. Pop-up chat on YouTube. That would be perfect. Then I've got the crap. Had the wrong link on my Discord. Hang on a minute. Oh, wrong link. Boom. Right, we're ready to go. Okay, welcome to the first stream of the project. All we have is, oh, how do we run this thing? It's scripts build. Okay, so yeah, we just got this little triangle here, right? It's rendered using a rendered just using a basic sort of vertex buffer index buffer. I think it's just a basic vertex buffer. Yeah, it renders to a visibility buffer. Right, outputs a triangle index and an instance index, and then we shade it based on the hash of that of the hash of something. Anyway, it's very basic. So right now, what we're going to work on is a little sky renderer. So I think what I'll do is I'll get rid of the triangle, or at least make it smaller, and we're going to just do a procedural sky. And the reason is that we was doing cube maps last time and in the previous iteration of this project, but that doesn't have one, you can't really have like a live updating sky, and two, you'd have to sort of capture some images and stuff like that and store them in a cube map, and obviously upload them from disk and stuff like this. What we're going to do is we're going to look into what it will take to procedurally render a sky, and then basically set that as the just render that maybe once for now, or maybe we do it live. We can see how much it takes by a little profiler here. We have to time all that, and then so that gets some HDR content into the game, fills out this big black area with something, and then we can start building some very simple meshes that are a certain color, and then we can basically start testing out our HDR and make sure that's all right, all the colors and everything come through fine and things like this. And yes, this is what we'll be working on over the past couple of weeks. Let's start off with the sky first and just see what it takes to get one of those. Hey there, Geeko, how you doing? Good to see you, sir. Hope you're doing good. Rightio. Cool. Right. So we won't bother running this, just should we? You know, yeah, let's program in the sky. So we'll go to graphics, Vulkan. What we find is there's a or the visibility buffer shade pass that we're looking at. A graphics shade, I think it's called. Yeah. So what we basically want to do here is say, well, if there is nothing here, or no mesh which was rendered here, what we want to basically do is sample from some kind of sky texture, right? So there's different like projections you can do. You can do like a cube map, or but a cube map takes like six sides. But there's also I guess like let's just see what different ones there are. I think there's um hmm. I do spherical images or a six-side image approach. Yeah, see that's the choice, isn't it? Just do a yeah. So you can do the spherical. Is it called a sphere? Spherical map texture. Is that what you call it? I think that's what you call it. But I guess that's one approach you could do. But you get lots of resolution around the poles, don't you? So you could basically take a normal and yeah. So you got this one. There's also I think there's another approach where it's called the sort of paraboloid. Um, something like that. Maybe not. Um, oh, look at this one. Yeah, dual polaroid, I think this is it. In graphics, this method renders two scenes in two passes, one for each hemisphere. So it's obviously the top and the bottom by projecting onto a para parabolic surface. That's a that's a tongue twister. Um, hey, Pistandro, how you doing? Yeah, not been bad. It's been a while. Yeah, not been bad. I've been pretty good actually. I'm not sure if you saw, but we did a stream on Sunday. You can check that out on the on Twitch. It's still in the VOD. I'm not sure if I'm gonna post it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna post it anywhere to sort of keep around because it's mainly just for people uh who've wondered where I'm at and what we're going to be doing. I think I don't know if I want to store it for a long time, so it is available on the channel. On the Twitch channel, you can catch the previous stream and see sort of where I've been, what I've been up to, and what's the direction of the project. Yeah, I posted about it. I posted about it in the Discord. Actually, I was coming back. If you want to come to the Discord and come and hang around, we're a little private Discord channel. They're usually referred to as HDRIs. I don't know why. Yeah. Oh, HDRIs. Let's look at this. Is that what they're called? Ooh. Yeah, this is what I was thinking about because I knew that this is perfect, right? So these are obviously pictures that people have done maybe or pre-renders, but this sort of projection I think is what we're looking for. Right. Interesting. Thank you for that, Geeko. Yeah, it's really these days the best it's all about figuring out the best words to or the keywords put into Google, isn't it? What's this sort of projection? So it's not really a how dynamic range? What does that mean? DRI. Really, this high dynamic range image, is that what it's really called? Hmm. Yeah, they're in this sort of Because you can tell, right? This is obviously not a. It's a very wide perspective, right? Because it's going. You can see behind. It's like a 360 view, isn't it? Um, but this one goes quite high and quite low, right? Um, yeah, maybe it's dual Polaroid. Let's see if it's on a shader toy or something. If they do. Use it for shadow maps or something. Yeah, I guess so. It's like the question is do we do cube map, dual Polaroid, or maybe a sphere mapping? But we could just get started, just do a cube map. It would be the easiest. Always change it later. It will take more memory though. Um, it has a map name for the projection, but I can't remember it. People can usually call them HDRI, right? That's strange. I wonder if it has a tells you the names. Yeah, I wonder what this projection is called. The sphere map is the easiest, just one texture. Yeah, exactly. It is probably the easiest. Yeah, I guess we could do that for now. Let's just do that and then we can worry about the projection thing later on. It's really just a yeah. So I guess we can look for some inspiration in a bit. Let's just so we need to calculate. We've got Milton on here. Good. There's a person. So what we've got is obviously a texture scene like so. Um, that's the texture. But imagine if it's like here's the plane with the camera. Obviously, we launch an array through the pixel. We want to get that sort of direction into the world, but we want to get that vector in world space. And then yeah, so I think we already have a thing for that. Called like I think I got it in graphics shader maybe. Ray direction for pixel compute shader, then there's a fragment shader version. Why do I need a fragment shader? Why has that got the no, that's the wrong way around, isn't it? Surely. The compute shader one's got to add. Yeah, this is silly. So you want to put this should be the fragment shader version. Then the compute shader version needs to add 0.5 to the screen position. Yep. All right, so something like this. So we'll pass in eChord. And then we'll get out a, what do we get out? We get out a vector 3. So this would be a ray direction in view space. So we could, set the color. So we say color, just to debug this for a minute, equals ray direct dot RGB equals ray direction view space. So if we compile and run that, oh, we got the terrible GLSL errors. Recursion. There we go. So as you can tell now, we've got a background, and that's obviously just the ray direction in view space. So what we want to do is transform that into actually world space, because that's the parameter we'll be using to sample the texture with the sky. So ray direction, world space. So we need to transform view to world. So I think that's a global. So what I've got is a global buffer, and I think I access it with just G. So that's just in graphics. Yes. Yes, there's a graphics global structure, and there's a buffer with like one element in there, right, of globals, and it's just a dumping ground for just variables that get uploaded from the CPU to the GPU, but also for some persistent memory that the GPU just wants to globally read and write to. That's kind of small little pieces that can be shared across many stages, basically. So the only problem is when you do that, you have to constantly synchronize on this buffer, I guess. Maybe. Yeah. Anyway, so we've got a view from a world from view transform in here, so we can just do like a mol v, so like a vector matrix 3D. So it's just a matrix 3D is a 4x3 with an implicit fourth column matrix. So we just want to put in a something like that. So then we can change it to world space, and it should look different, and it should be rotating now, yes. So obviously we're seeing the negative colors are coming up as black. So half of it, we're just in this sort of black space, I think. Actually, no. A quarter of it is in black space. Yeah, you can think of it sort of like looks like a sphere now, doesn't it, really, that's going around. We've got this sort of black quarter, a red quarter, a purple quarter, and a blue one. That's right. Yep. Cool. And if we look at, up above, it's going to be different. So I think if I flipped the y-axis on this just for a bit of fun, that'd be negative. You would see the top colors. Is that right? Yeah. Anyways, slightly wrong. Maybe it's one. Anyway, no. Yeah, that's right. But there we go. So now we've got our sort of our sample thing. Now what we want to do is make a texture sample from that texture, and then we have a texture we can write to render the sky. So luckily that is, I think I'll close my game window. So we can go over into graphics, PK internal. We want to put in a new buffer. No, sorry, new image. We'll call this the sky image. And basically we just want to create that. So this is in the initialization step. We create a static image, I think. And well, let's just say we do a 4K image for now. So we sky image. And needs a specification, of course. Right, so we probably want it to be a fully downsample. Yeah, we probably want to downsample it actually at some point. So we're going to want to create a full set of MIP views. So we want a bunch of image views for each MIP level. We probably want to have dimensions set out. Now we probably want those shared between the CPU and GPU, I think. So in the shared header, I'd like to drop in here a some more constants. Oh, I just remembered it's called the... Oh, amazing. Equirectangular projection. Is that what it's called? Skybox, I guess. Maybe this is it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's nice. Is a 360 view panoramic image format often used for HDR. Nice. Amazing. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So we just need the maths to basically do this. So I guess it's double the width than the height. I think that's the way it's done. So I think you would do like a define skybox um so maybe we'll say, hey, it's no, let's do 1024, and then we'll double it across the uh best way would be to turn it into a cube map. No, 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 no. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I just wonder how so we probably want to go to from pretty spherical. Yeah, I wonder if the AI mode is going to get it. Probably would, wouldn't it? Let's ask it nicely. GSL, please. Right, so inverse atan. Right. Normalize the vector, but it's already normalized anyway, right? Because we've just got directional. So it's spherical. Huh. Is it just okay, but it's got this sort of scaling thing to it. Gives latitude, longitude. Nice, so we'll give that a go. So what we'll do is we'll produce an image then in this would be cool. So we can uh what did I say float? Imagine it's times 2. It might not be. Yeah, it's thinking it's spherical, isn't it? Maybe that's right. Mapping to the equal rectangular projection, maps to longitude to the U axis and latitude, the V axis. 0 be far left, 0.5. Yeah, obviously, right. So you get 408. It's a full. It's a full 360, isn't it? Obviously, right. Of course, right. You're just remapping. Let's see. Right. So yeah, so I guess it's up to you how much resolution you want, basically, isn't it, for the sky map? Is that right? Yeah, I think it's up to you how much resolution you want. Um, and the reason why you want more across the x-axis is because the camera is typically wider. Your window is typically in a landscape view, isn't it? Right. I see. So you probably want to double it, right? That makes sense. So the type of the image will be a VK image view type of a 2D. And then I think we might be okay with that. We'll see. Right. What sort of usages do we need? Copied that. We need a format, obviously. Right, VK format. So the format of this one is going to be HDR, so we'll probably just do a 16. Oh, crap. R16. B16. S float, this one. Nice big old texture. So color attachment, we probably don't need to be color attachment, but definitely storage. So in the compute shader, we'll generate it. And right, let's just give that a go. So we obviously just want to throw this spec in there, and jobs are good. So that'll create the image. Now what we need is a new shader. Now the game has crashed. That's okay. So we need a new shader now. So inside code, modules, graphics, VK shaders. Right, we're going to make a new lovely compute shader. So I'll just copy the graphic shade one, and we'll call it graphics sky shade, maybe. So we'll go into the build system. We'll just add another lovely entry here. I really need to do like a wildcard thing on the folder. Then we won't have to come in here and do this. But you know, it's just a bit less ergonomic for now. It will do. But yes, sky shade, we'll add that one in. Then we'll go over to the actual sky shade shader, and now we'll just basically put an XY. Very simple. We'll just store. We'll say color equals U coord and then 0 on the blue, and we'll just output that. Here it's already basically doing everything we want. So it's just doing the classic swizzle such that it's in that Morton curve swizzle, so it's more optimized when it writes to the texture, checks if it's out of bounds, makes the color just the X and Y output. So we should be able to see this when we run this inside our, hang on a minute. Yeah, we've got to check that. Why is it by 8? That seems like it's buggy on the we'll check that. So we just got to launch it. We can check in the image viewer and then make it work on the shading code. So let's check VK. So it was called graphic shade, right? Did we launching that too much? A8. Yes, I think I was launching graphic shade far too much. Right, that's good to know. So we want something like this, and we want to take it to probably just take the whole function. and we'll call it sky shading. Now, we don't have one of these, so we'll do that. Up in there. Yeah, since you just map in the sphere to go as much as you want, I think. Yeah, exactly. That's pretty cool though. I like that. You can choose what resolution you want. It makes sense. Sky shade. So we want a destination image. So these image IDs are basically just indices. I've just got them a little bit type safe. It's very hacky. But yeah, type safe with the formats and things like that. Encodes it in the name or something, and it's a wrapped structure, I think. So it's yeah. But it's just an index underneath. So we're just passing indices into a structure. We've got this def structure because it's shared between GLSL and C. So you can't type def structures in GLSL, you know. So this is the way we have to live now. But it will work. So this is the destination image that we write to. It's write only. We're not reading from anything, I don't think, but there's probably going to be parameters that will pass in because the sky is going to be tunable based on some stuff from the CPU, I think. Right, maybe there's like a direction of the sun or something. But yeah, we'll get there as we go. So just the dimensions will probably be good enough. Yeah, I think we'll make them constant, so we don't really need that. Okay, so back to the sky shape for just a second. We do actually want to pass in that like that. So we've got the PC, which means push constants. So it gets the dims there. So in this case, the dimensions would actually be do 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 do. Mm-hmm. 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 Hey, buffer overflow, good to see you. C devs caring about type safety. Why does C when you can do same type safe thing with 10x undebuggable C++ templates? Yeah. Yeah, that's what happens, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, just keep with the simple C thing, you know. Always, and this is part of the reason why I use C, because I would always convince myself using C++, like, hey, finally, this is the right time to use inheritance. Finally, this is the right time to use templates. Finally, this is the right time to use, I don't know, what other things they do. Yeah, finally, it's the right time to use a destructor, you know. Finally, this is the right time to use, you know, to have a non-pod type, right? But really, this stuff all comes to bite you in the butt. And really, it's the worst decision picking those things. That's all. That's always what I found. But yeah, just see, because when you see, you see. Much easier that way. Exactly. When you see, you see. Hey, the bot corrected you. That was amazing. That I did not see that. Zig is nice. I don't know. Yeah, when you see, you see. Exactly. The bot corrects you. See, Zig is like that language where like it does some cool stuff, right? The compiler is great technology. I think it's done a fab job in that space. Not gonna lie. Language wise, though, it's got so many things and lots of stuff in the standard library is all this sort of like comp time stuff, and the way you do the structures. I don't know. It's just weird, and it's doing a bit too much. Doing a bit too much. Like if you look at some of the implementations of the collections, there's like some U31 types and stuff like this, and everywhere, and blah blah blah. Like the question is, do you need all this stuff? Can you just get, you know, I know Zig's got some nice like reflection stuff, you know, nice simple API there, but I know some of the features it has too many, and you know, there's the const word is used everywhere for some reason, you know. Yeah. Right, so it's got to call this lovely sky shade function, and then voila. So we'll probably want sky shade before anything. Do we need to sync? Oh yeah, it's already in the syncing. So basically we call this select sync image, read write, and as we do that sync image, it returns to us the descriptor index into the bindless descriptor array. And we just put that into the push constants, call the dispatch. Dispatch takes in the push constants and obviously just binds them, or it does the dispatch into the Vulkan command buffer, and voila. So oh, we're so close. What's going on? Can output file, no. Open input file. I didn't call it .cs whatever, did I? Gotta be like compute shader. Otherwise I don't know what the entry point is. Sorry, not entry point, the type of shader is. Right, so there's an assertion now on the MIP levels. They cannot be 0. Okay, I have to explicitly say. And then I guess likewise the array layers have to be equal 1 as well. I could probably make that better. Right, so we just open our super lovely texture viewer. Oh, wrong one. Let's close that. There's the button. And here's our sky image. Right, so clearly I had ×2 on the Y rather than the X because my mind was being stupid. But here's it's working, right? It goes right across. Maybe no. Oh yeah, I needed to divide by the resolution, but you get the idea. I think. But yeah, so we go to like those guy. Yeah, so really we want to do something like this where hey Alexa, how you doing? Good. How have you been? Oh, not the settings. Right, there's our sky image. It's in landscape now. So if we do, yeah, not been bad, thank you. Just obviously been taking a big break. You know, had some things going on in my life, and let's take a break. But I'm back now. Go full steam ahead. You might notice a bit of a rebrand going on, but there is a video which I streamed on Sunday. So if you want to catch the information on like, what's going on in the project and where I've been and get all that, the video is up for now on Twitch. I don't know how long it's going to be up there, but it's there to watch it. And I don't think I'll keep it around. Because it's mainly just for people who are like, it's mainly sort of a personal, uh, yeah, it was mainly like a personal video just for for you guys who have just been, wondering where I've been, what I've been doing, what's the new direction, right? And we, there'll always be more videos of me doing, probably announcing like things with the project and things, but that one, like I think I'll probably do like a devlog at some point on YouTube or something like that. So that one, which I've done on Sunday, is just gonna be there for you guys. Thank you. The bot dude very angry at me right now. The bot's not angry, he's just letting you know where it's at. Odin, yeah, Odin's quite nice, I guess. I've not really played with it. You know, I like the stuff with the arrays. Arrays are basically vectors or matrices in a way, right? That do it's sort of like the operators that come built onto the arrays. You don't really need like a custom vector type and stuff. It's pretty cool. Um, you know, um, yeah. Like I think I would prefer Odin over Zig because of the simplicity of it. Um, yeah, Zig just goes a little bit too far. I think. Yeah, C's a very good level of complexity. You can basically get rid of quite a lot of stuff from C, all the bad design choices, and there's not really much I would add to C, because it just does the job, and I think Odin does that mostly. It's got quite different syntax though. It leans on the sort of ident type sort of like syntax, whatever way you do it, is it like that? But it's ident first and type later. Um, which has its benefits. Um, but yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure if you remember, but I actually used to use Rust for a long time. I used it for like 4 years. So I've used these new languages. I know what they're kind of about. Does that work? Yeah, that's sort of done it, isn't it? But the reason why it's so dark, it's because the black white levels. The black white is at 32 because it's a HDR image. Yeah. So if we put it to 1, there we go. Perfect. So there's our sky. So this is obviously in the texture viewer. So now what we can do is we can just change, rather than using the coordinate, we can now remap that into this sort of equal rectangular projection. Yes. So, and then sample from that texture. So if we go to the graphic shade function, which is the visibility buffer shade, I should probably call it VB shade. But yeah, if we're not got a pixel which contains a mesh, like a instance and a triangle index, what we're going to do is sample from the sky texture now. But we need to have it kind of passed in, so I don't think I can hot reload that. Yeah, so we need to, maybe we could hot reload it in 2 places. Yeah, I think it might work. It might not. Yeah, so we want a texture 2D, one that we can sample from, of the sky image. Yes. So read. No, there's a sample one, isn't there? Oh yeah, see, it's called a texture. So textures for sampling. So that'd be an F. F for float. Nothing else. Then we do sky image, I think. Why is it complaining? Anyway, so this sky image needs to make sure it's got the sampled bit now on it. Yep. And so that means it's going to pass it in. So if we going to recompile all that. Recompile. Okay, I think that's crash and burn on my GPU. Should have probably shut it down. Got a graphics crash. Stream is still going. It's all good. All right. So rerun that. Okay. So now we should just be able to take. So now we can just do a sample. I forget how to do the samples. So I think it's like sample. That's the one I want. But I don't want to do a texture LOD. I'd probably just call it. Oh, GLSL, man. Add your sample texture. It's just called texture. Anyway, the texture, we want a regular sampler 2D. We're going to construct it from a sampler. Crap. Have I got a in my globals? Is there like a? Have I got a sampler in here in my global structure? Like the clamp nearest? Kidding me. Right, so we've got to put those in here because that's a crime. So GPU VK sampler ID. So clamp nearest, I think it's called, and then like a clamp linear. So I was going to pass these guys in. What's this complaining about? Yeah, I meant it that way. GLSL, that's the one. So when we upload these, I'll shut down the game. So that'll be in graphics, in the global structure. We can just say, right, gimme these things. So they're accessible in every single shader. Rust is just C++, too much types. Yeah, Rust is basically if you could write C++ properly without C, right? So it still depends on the C standard library, but it does all the move semantic stuff with restrictions in the compiler, right? And you can do the proper, non-pod types and stuff. Just feels so much better in Rust. Yeah, I think Rust is like that C++ that, should make every C++ programmer like it, really, I think. Hey, Raf. Yeah, man. How you doing? Yeah, it's Tuesday already. Good evening. How you doing, VMT? Good to see you. Hey, Raf. Yeah, I'm back. Have a new direction for the project. We've got some. If you're interested in catching that, there was a sort of a 3-hour stream I did on Sunday, where you can catch that. It's not going to be uploaded anywhere. It's only on the VOD channel. It's going to expire at some point. Maybe it's over 2 weeks, but it's up there. You can give it a watch if you're interested in to see what's coming up, really, and see where I've been, what I've been doing. Yeah. How do I get the sampler? descriptor index. This is the one. So we calculate, or we convert the clamp. How do we do that clamp linear thing? Oh, it's publicly available, isn't it? Hang on a minute. Are you telling me these are... Did I put these... Because I got them all here, right? So does that mean they should go... But I've got a global structure for the GPU. Why not just put them in there? Yeah, you know, I got some new ideas. So these are all pre-done ones. In GPU, which is the layer underneath the graphics, there's got stuff like the image viewer shaders in there and stuff like that. There is a shared sections. There is a global specifically for those, and this is accessible from graphics and GPU. So it's got like the downsampler counters for the AMD single pass downsampler and a mouse position for debugging. So I can dump all these in here, and that means I can also upload them as well. Yeah. So, yeah, so we should literally just be able to take all of those GPU public, all of these guys. Come on. Amazing. And poke them into the... GPU VK public. Alright, we've nearly finished with all the faff. Get texture rendered in the final pass. GPU programming, eh? Plenty of faff to go around. So this goes into the GPU section of the global structure. Come on. Amazing. So it's right at the start. Like inherited basically, if you will, so you can use a different buffer with a different type for the GPU shaders. Right, why doesn't this want to work? Cannot assign a sampler ID to a sampler ID. Oh, from E32. Oh. Yeah. So I don't have a... Well, I guess what I could do is just do that. Or I could have made it a function. Depends where I'm using this. Oh. Okay, it doesn't matter. They're rarely used anyway. Make it a bit more ergonomic later. Interesting what we've got now. So in the shaders, the visibility buff shade. Right, it's not like in... Oh yeah, we didn't finish that. Yeah, so we're trying to sample from this new texture now. So, right. Let's get it running again. Here's a lovely triangle. We're currently just rendering out as the sky map. It is just the world space vector for that pixel. For those rays which are shooting through the camera. So we switch back to here. we're just trying to sample from this texture which we've pre-rendered in, or which we rendered in a previous pass. So we've got a nice little simple pass called graphics sky shade, which is here. And oh, wrong button. Then we've got this sky image here, which renders into a HDR format. It's a RGBA 16-bit per pixel floating point, obviously. It's 2K by 1K. And right now we just render out the UV coordinate. Okay, so we're just trying to get that to show up in the visibility buffer shade function. So we just sample from that. This is going to be an equal rectangular, if that's how you pronounce it, equal rectangular projection. So it's a full 360 across the X, full 360 across the Y. Yeah. So that one is. So we're just trying to do the FAF, which is graphics programming, to achieve such thing. So I guess color would take that. Then, you know, to texture sample, it's just the word texture. We need to build a sampler 2D, which is like a floating point one. So we do some bindless stuff. This is sky image. It's called sky image in the push constants. Then it's type safe, so it does a bunch of stuff. Hang on a minute. That's right. So this just wraps it in a type safe. Hey, why is it doing that? Does it need to do that? That's a U. It's already one of those. Yep. So this does the bindless. It uses bindless to grab the sort of texture 2D floating point. This is read only. Yep. Then we construct this sampler 2D from that texture and a sampler. The sampler comes from GPU.clamp linear sampler ID. I don't know if I should call it sampler ID or just sampler, but there we go. Then we pass in the UV. Now we need to work out what this UV is. So what we're going to do is make a function for that. So it's going to be called, it's an equal this thingy. Guess we'll just take this function and change it. Rightio. So we basically want to get the we want to take like a direction to, or maybe UV from direction. Now we probably want to put a comment here saying V must be normalized. I should probably call it D, isn't it? DIR. So we don't normalize it. It's a waste of things there. And then right, that makes sense. Right, I'll leave the comments in there actually, they're quite handy. So that one's spherical angles to map. Yeah. Lovely. Right, so now we just take this guy calculate us the UV. So that will be ray direction world space. And we're not passing a particular MIP level. I've got to take that one out because it's going to automatically work that out. Now I forgot to actually, yeah, we need to do a downsample pass on our image. That's very important. So actually we'll do an explicit LOD for now. We'll just do 0. So we'll do texture LOD, and then we'll generate the downsample. So that obviously failed to compile because it didn't change. So 6. Right, 12. Right, D. What is D? Right, D was the normalized one. Oh, it's on PC, that's global, so that's G. Perfect. Right, so we've got... Well, I'm not sure if it's perfect yet. We'll find out, that's for sure. Interesting. So let's bring up the texture viewer. So basically we should be looking downwards. So this is the bottom, right? But we're not really going downwards. I think we're looking upwards because it's looking kind of green to yellow. Right? So we bring that to 1. See, it's kind of green to yellow and there's a clear cutoff when it wraps. So I think it's working fine. It's just the Y is flipped because my direction, I use bottom left origin, whereas textures is the other way around. So yeah, I think we'll flip the Y. So in that case, you just do that. So now it should be going green. No, that's not right, is it? It's one take. Hmm. Right, I'm probably flipping the... If I flip the Y like that, maybe that works better. No, it's still not changing anything. No, it kind of does. Right, so let's go to the game side, and we'll shoot the camera up instead, so it's just in game. Ah, what we call it, I think we call it... Can you just look for camera? Yeah. So, we change the... There you go. If we put phi as something else. Right, so we point up. Okay, interesting. Green. Yeah, I'm not seeing any red though anywhere. Maybe I am. Because it's being red here, isn't it? Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, maybe it is kind of working. Do you need to loop over the direction in the compute shader and store based on the direction rather than outputting a pixel UV. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I'm just trying to see if the UV sort of, if I can see all the places in this texture right now first. But yeah, you're right. This is going to be generated based on a direction in world space and then encoded into this 2D image. That's right. And I'm thinking, kind of looking okay. Maybe I'll move the camera down a bit more. So that would be a... Yeah, okay, that's good. So what are we seeing here? So we're seeing a black area, right? And it goes red all the way around to green, though. What does that mean? So maybe it's the wrong... Yeah, what I think we've got is maybe the up and down and maybe we got the wrong orientation. I think we got the wrong orientation somewhere because what we're trying to look at is the left of the texture goes all the way around the sort of horizontally. You know, it's like imagine I'm sitting in my chair and I swivel round. We should be seeing green going like to yellow and then sort of cutting off or something like that. And at the floor, what should we be seeing? Should we see? We should be seeing black and just red, basically, right? Black to red. Am I thinking that wrong? I mean, it does make it easier to verify if you working maybe put red poles around. Uh, put red around poles and green and yellow, something like this. Oh yeah, true. Yeah, just do something. That's right. Yeah, we can do that. That's a good idea. So sky shade. So we could probably do something like a we can use step, can't we, or something like that. Always get it repeating. So you could take a UV. Man, I need to get used to my shader maths again. So we want to basically like repeat a bunch of maybe lines or something. Two angles and convert those to a direction. Okay, you're saying just do the world space coordinate instead. I guess we could do that. Yeah, that is probably better. Yeah, that would be easier, wouldn't it? Yeah, so we're talking about going the other way around. Basically the inverse of this. So we want to go from like, yeah. Let's just get the AI to generate it. From UV to a direction. Lovely. So let's just pop that in here for now. We're going to move it into the standard, or into the shed header. So that will be... Send the UV back into spherical angles. Does GLSL have pi? I think it does. Oh, I did my own, I think. I think of what it... I remember now seeing it somewhere. Yeah, I think there's a definition for it somewhere. Yeah, I defined pi already. That's good. Cool. Right, so map. Back spherical angles. Yep. Standard Y up. Yes, so. Okay. Do we need to normalize? Maybe, I'm not sure. So anyway, this would be, so what do we call that in shade? So it's the other way around, right? It's a direction from... Lovely. So we take that. This be a direction in world space. So the UV. And then direction, world space. Lovely. Okay, so I think that might have worked. Because we've got the lower. Yeah. So, cool. So here's the lower half. That's looking good because the camera's looking down, right? So you got the black, blue, purple, then red. Yeah, then the green. And if we look a bit further up, so we go to the game. Let's move the camera up. Yeah, so we looked up a bit from the triangle and we're seeing this. We're seeing this part here, this upper part. It's really cool. Amazing. Beautiful. Thank you for that, Geeko. Make it so you think in terms of angles, which is much easier. Yep. So it's that nicely. Right, so we know the projection is probably working well now. So now I guess we spend a lot of bit of time trying to generate a piece of sky. Now, let's just... Rightio, it's really nice. So I want to move these functions whilst we're there into... See, I don't think you need to normalize it, maybe. Anyway, we'll, doesn't matter. We'll pay for the normalize for now. Graphics, BK, shared, I think. Or maybe we put it into the GPU one. It's got to find them. There is already some other ones like... yeah, I've already got these guys, you see. Wait, this is Quaternion. Printing... compute stuff, image operations and stuff. The whole maths library. So alright, let's go to graphics shared. Shared. What's in there? What about core shared? I think I've done that one recently. The shader's got some. This shader one has got stuff in it. Maybe just plonk it in here. So yeah, I think we'll stick it in here for now, but we can always move it if need be. Okay. Lovely, it still works. Brilliant. So let's take a look at different ways we can render some skies and stuff. So, you know, see if there's some sort of sky shaders we can take some inspiration from or see. So it's a very simple one. That's pretty simple, isn't it? Pretty nice. There's a sun plus sky basically. That's cool. So we take out the sky for a minute. Sorry, the sun. Alright, so like that. That as you click the mouse. Okay, interesting. Right. Yeah, that's cool. That's not a bad one. Physically based sky. Got a nice sunrise thing there, isn't it? Well, where's the sun? I guess you just got to poke a sun into here. So it's just a sky. It's the sky without the sun. Is that right? I can see a sort of where a sun would go. Interesting. It's doing the projection we've been doing, isn't it? That's cool. It's even got an ACES tone mapper on it, which we'll yeet out of there. So what is all this then? So there's a lookup table for a transmittance multi-scattering approximation and spectral rendering. Ooh, fancy. With only 4 samples. Whoa. Oh, so where's the sun? I see no sun nowhere. Oh, apparently. Yes, the sun is kind of there, but it's not really that great of a sun. That can always be modified. Fisheye. Ooh. What is this thing? So 8 is like urban, whatever that means. 0, it's just the background. 1, uh-huh. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. It's quite intricate, isn't it? Look, I think I would, if I was to use this one, I'll put a really nice blobby sun. I can't really see one, but the atmosphere, just the way it looks, like the warmness of it, looks quite nice. Obviously, it needs some clouds and things, but just the horizon looks great. I like that. I'm not sure about this stuff though. I think it's like some different colors. The aerosol type. But anyways, one house 7 and 8 look different. They are different. Anyway, it's cool. So it has got a license on it. Let's look at that one. The license is basically saying like you can do whatever you want with it, but um, but the license must also be everywhere it goes. So I think it's basically just saying give the guy credit, right? Um, and yeah, I think that's what it's saying basically. You just put that in the game somewhere, which would be quite nice. It doesn't really. It's pretty cool. I just wonder how complicated it is. You see, so there's like a B buffer, wherever the B buffer is. I don't know where you can see your different channels and stuff. So a scalable and production ready sky and atmosphere rendering technique by Sebastian Hilaire, 2020. So it's semi-recent. We render a sky to a texture instead of rain marching on the entire screen. This is not very useful in shaded, but very useful for someone looking to this in a raw application. It is important to note that the quality decreases significantly when rendering space views. To avoid this, the compute and scattering function can be used directly when rendering a full screen quad. Oh, hang on a minute. Okay, so they're just so rendering a full screen quad or maybe just a compute shade or whatever, right? So space views. I'm not sure it's talking about space views. Wait. So there's like there's a transmittance lookup table that gets generated in buffer A. So pre-computed transmittance, which is on top to the top of the atmosphere. We use the same technique in the pre-computed atmospheric scattering by these guys. Okay. There's just another 2D texture, right? I wonder if you can. This one looks quite nice. Oh, nice, put a nice blobby sun though. I like the horizon. Probably a lot of stuff you can tweak as well. So there's like even like these ozone concentrations for different parts of the month. I wonder how much code this is though. I think we've got quite a lot of this stuff already in ways, like stuff to do like the projections and things. So interesting. Even do like spectral rendering as well. Linear sRGB from spectral samples. Interesting. Where's that used? Not there, which you would expect. But here it does. So if you enable spectral, interesting. Where's that spectral rendering thing? And this is just a tone mapper basically and some camera projection stuff. It doesn't look that complicated. Maybe it's just some extra images to output. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, that ozone stuff, I'm not, yeah. There's a lot of stuff. But yeah, I think it shouldn't be too bad to edit. Oh, source of spectral thing. Let's take that out. Where is that even seen? Yeah, so you see that lost something there. Oh, wow. So where does that? We're crying out loud, shader toy. Right, so there's different sort of colors. I think we've got to go from like spectral to. We can do the sRGB thing, but later on we want to take it to P3 because we'll be doing a P3, DCI P3 renderer and not a sRGB one. There's not really that much difference. It's just hard coded. Ah. So it's just this sort of ozone thing. Huh. Okay. Oh. Yeah, so this is a strong maybe. I like the idea of this one. We'll keep this one open. We'll come back and see what else is around. Ooh. That one doesn't look bad. That cute little sun. Yeah, this one looks quite alright. Yeah, so this is the same implementation of this one, right? Yeah, it's the same sort of implementation. Doesn't implement this aerial perspective voxels. Sorry, perspective voxels, whatever that is. Yeah, I think this one is. I wonder how much easier this one is. It's got 3 buffers though. So the common is reasonably small compared to the other one. Yeah, so it's doing this lookup table thing again. And then yeah, I think it's basically just the same code as the other one. Then it's in this, but it's got a third buffer of Ray March. So what did the other one do? It said like, it said about Ray Marching it. Is the actual sky view? It's the long latitude map. When did it mention Ray Marching? So we render the skies with texture instead of ray marching on the entire screen. This is not very useful in Shader Toy, but very useful for someone looking to implement this in an actual real application. Okay, so I guess this is an optimization here that's already been done. So this would actually do a ray march. Okay. When I become a Christian channel, we missed it. Yeah, so Sunday. Came back on Sunday, you can take a look. It'll be there for probably for a couple of weeks. But I did mention on the Discord that we're coming back. So there is a Discord channel if you want to come and hang out in the meantime. But if you're interested in where I've been, what I've been doing, check the past stream on Twitch and you'll be able to see it. Yeah, I like this one. But how does this compare? So we get the sun. Does that sun flip back around? You guess go the way around, doesn't it? Right. Restart that. So that looks nice and warm, doesn't it? Oh, does it kind of nice? Yeah, I think that Ray March. Or is this one? I think if we could slow that down, where's the... Yeah, I think we'll port this one because I think the guy's taken the time to optimize it here. So we render this guy to a texture instead of remarching the entire screen. I'm not sure though what he means by that. Be nice to understand it. Calculates the actual sky view. So B is... It's a multi-scattering lookup table. Each pixel coordinate corresponds to the height and the sun zenith angle and the value of its multiple scattering approximation. So code doesn't square root number of sample. Yeah, so I think we'll take this one, just dumb it down. I think this is what people are typically doing these days, and this one's got a reasonable license as well. So, right, so you take all configure parameters and common tab. The shader is the final result of master's thesis. Combinations are spectral rendering technique. Then he uses 4 wavelength samples, both, and multi-scattering approximation. Both these approximations rely on an analytical fit, so they only work for Earth's atmosphere. We make up for it by using a very flexible atmosphere model that is able to represent a wide variety of atmospheric conditions. Brief description of spectral rendering technique found in this article here. Cool. That might be useful actually. because we want to be able to convert that from a oh, thank you, internet. Yeah, the internet basically just dies over as time goes on. That's okay, and then obviously skip the time out. But okay. So why don't we just start with a simple thing, which is getting this lookup table done. I don't know where how Shader Toy works though when it comes to off-screen buffers. I'm a bit of a scrub at this. I thought there was okay, mind our eyes for a minute. I'm going to turn off dark mode. I think they're hiding stuff from me. Hang on a minute. No, I thought there was ways they can configure it. Let's put Diamond back on. Oh, can render it to EXR. I wonder what resolution they do. Maybe it's not the lookup table, maybe it's the other thing. Hey, Swing Funk. Hey, I'm back. Yeah, I'm good, my friend. How are you? Right, so here's the lookup table, and it's at a certain resolution. So I think it's the same resolution as the screen buffer. It's yeah. Okay, fair play. Okay. So likewise, here's this one. But yeah, how you been, Swing Funk? Yeah, I've been good. You know, we've just been oh yeah, it's just the sky, isn't it? If we play it, it will. Yeah, it's just the sky, isn't it? Cool. This would be quite easy to do. But yeah, just you know, some things happened in my life and just been dealing with those. But you know, coming back, okay, this is very different. I guess it's before a time map, I think as well. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, just getting back into swing of things now. I've got a new direction for the project. If you take a look at if you want to see all the reasons why and everything, I'm probably not going to upload that video. Yeah, so there's a video we did a stream on Sunday. You know, that video will be up for probably a couple of weeks on Twitch on the VOD, just on the previous streams. It's just there. You can go and watch it if you're interested in seeing all the details behind that. But yeah, I made it just for the viewers who are sort of like, you know, wondering where I've been, what direction we're going in. I'll probably do a devlog at some point when we've been going for a bit, you know, but this one is just for you guys. So, you know, it's gonna expire at some point. And yeah, you can see all the reasons why and what direction we're going in there, which is cool. That's cool. Lovely. Okay, this is super cool. I like this. So I don't know about this a lot though. I think this maybe can be, maybe it has to be the same resolution. I don't know, but at least we can just make it. So there'll be the sky texture, and then what's it do to the sky texture? So it says channel. Oh, there's these gears. Oh, okay, didn't give you much. Alright, nothing much either. Right. Yeah, so it's the same resolution by looks fit. So you've got these different where's the channel 0? That's the lookup table. Then where's channel 1? Come on, man. Where's channel 1? It cannot be in channel 0. Sorry, maybe channel 0 is buffer B, and buffer B takes in the lookup table, of course. Right, I see now. So, gotcha. So it gets the color, apply exposure, there's some kind of exposure value. Okay. Right, I see. Then it does the tone map, okay. All good. Alright. Cool. So we'll start off with this lookup table. We'll get that going. Alright, here we go. So there's some more shaders. So we need one more shader to generate this lookup table. It's kind of physically based. Oh. Interesting. Yeah, it's all physically based, isn't it? That's not really needed in... Is it okay? Okay. Yeah, I wonder if you could play every aerosol type, expose 5 parameters, scatter cross section, resolve and cross, base density, background density, height. Where's it come from? Okay. Right. So I guess we'll split that into another file. So I wonder, that lookup table probably only needs to be generated once. Yeah, I think we can just do and Windows. Do that for now. And then we'll do another. We generate the sky lookup table. Lovely. Oh, let's go to the build. Sky LUT. Alright. So basically Sky Common is going to probably want a lot of this stuff here. We can just we need classical if guards because GLSL. Lovely. Right, so configurable parameters. Yeah, I don't think we'll have a camera type thing. Animate sun doesn't matter for us. We'll keep this for now, this aerosol type. Right, so sun. Guess we'll leave this for now. We don't need pi. We already have pi, whatever g is. Look into that at some point. That spectral stuff, we should probably get rid of that. Well, we'll keep the spectral, right, but we should probably get rid of that because it's just not that great. Let's enable aerosols. How does that look? We should look at that to see what the difference is like. That could, I guess, remove some code if it's not really that. So enable aerosols, right? Maybe it's just for debugging. Okay, so that's what gets you that sort of lovely, soft, interesting, some multi-scatter. Yeah. Yeah, obviously needs a tone map. We'll be doing a tone mapper later. Alright. So, we'll keep this stuff in. Let's just get rid of the... Okay. Yeah, move the debug stuff. This camera stuff we don't need. Exposure. Yeah, we need to sort that one out later on. But for now, this will do. Ray marching steps. All right. Keep those. Cool. Where's it getting the month from? Oh, interesting, you changed this month. Doesn't really change much there. Oh, maybe because we didn't play it. Oh, no. I should do a render a new frame. It sort of changed it very rarely there. Okay. Cool. I guess September is going to look different, so that'd be 6. Sorry, September, that'd be... It's 9. Take 1 in it. No, 8, sorry, because it's like, yeah. Oh well. Yeah, I'm not sure if this stuff really matters that much. Maybe we can get rid of that. Probably doesn't matter that much. We'll keep in there for a bit. Right, so we'll keep these in here. Not a biggie. This sun direction, we obviously want to provide our own. That will come in from a global somewhere. But for now, we can just leave it to animate. I didn't realize you could pass around sampler 2Ds into functions. I thought it was always a bit funny with that. GLSL is always a bit funny with that. Fair play. Cool. So ray sphere intersection. Fair play, fair play. I think we maybe have our own already, but let's just leave it here for now. Can always clean it up later. Right, so there's the common. Very nice. So let's just go over to the lookup table and start generating that. So we're going to include the common here. We want to look up table 1. I don't know what we'll need just yet. But let's go and get some of this in. So I think we'll take that lovely comment here as well. We reconfigure the transmittance for the top of the atmosphere technique in the... Okay. So it gets the UV, which we've already got here, I guess. So yoink. I don't know about the resolution, but we'll keep it the same as the sky texture. So frag color. Lovely. Right, so we obviously want to include the sky common thing. Right, so because we're doing a compute shader, we want to swizzle it properly so it's more performant when it writes it out. Get the UV. Sun direction. That's interesting, I thought. Right, probably because it's a lookup table, it's like a fixed. Yeah, it's something, it doesn't take in a custom sun direction. It's kind of like a lookup table based on something to do with the sun, I guess. Sun direction, maybe. Right. Ray origin. Okay, see if that compiles. Right, so 7. Yeah, there's no structure called this at the moment, so we'll pop. Doesn't seem like we need anything input parameters other than the output texture. So in shared, we find we generate the lookup table. So I think what we can do now then is just go all in on it. So we go to VK internal, where we have that sort of sky image. We can make the lookup table image as well. And we can then, where we initialize the sky image, we can also initialize the lookup table image. Now I don't think it needs... Yeah, it doesn't need any MIP views. I just realized... Crap. We didn't generate any MIP, put a number of MIP levels down for the whole sky texture, so just one MIP level. So that we've got a function for that, for like MIPs from dims. Yeah, so we can just pass in this. And that automatically gives us a full MIP chain, which would be nice. Cool. Yep, that's what we want. So that'll be the sky image. This will be sky lookup table image. Now, oof. So sky lookup table push constants. Sky lookup table image. Thank you very much. That'll be, oh, what's this? Define another compute pipeline such that it will read it, compile it when we boot up the game. So we dispatch that. Seems legit. Right, so we should be able to then view that texture if it all compiles, which it has. Cool, so we should be able to pop open F9 and we see the image here. Excellent, look at that. That was nice and easy. The other one, hopefully the next one's just as easy. So that looks like the image we downloaded when we asked ShaderToy for it. Yeah, interesting. That's cool. It's kind of, I don't know, it seems like maybe it's a bit of a waste though, sometimes. Like this, I don't know actually. Let's change the black white levels. Okay. Yeah, I think this is all basically the same color though, but maybe not. Yeah, I think the bottom's different, especially the bottom here, but yeah, okay, up here's, yeah. Okay, I guess it makes sense. Kind of have a cropped version of it. Cool, that's fine. Right, so now I've got that one texture sorted out. Now it's got to sort out the sky shade. So the next one is here. So I don't understand. He was talking about, it's important to note that the quality decreases significantly when rendering space for use. To avoid this, the compute trend function can be used directly when rendering a full screen quad. Well, that's what we're doing, and I thought this person would be doing as well. Anyway, looks pretty reasonable to me. So keep spectral. All right. Then apply nonlinear transform to the innovation. Sort this all out. Look at that, heavily glowing, cast on your face. Yeah, I got some lights. We can also switch to more of like an amber mode, where it's like, hang on a minute. So this is probably the warm. Like I'm on Mars, or like I'm trying to stay healthy and absorb lots of red light because I stay inside all the time. And blue light dangerous. It just looks like a normal light. Want to do this? Yeah, should do this all the time. Just want to have it. Yeah, look at that. Lovely. Lovely. Mm-hmm. 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 How's it going, Rust Compiler? How you doing? What have you been up to today? Right, so let's skip the comment for now. Yeah, we should drop the drop this thing in here. Right. Somewhere. And there's an attribution thingy. You know, sky shader. You know, in the sky shade dot compute shader. So I write this all up such that when I do like a licensing thing, I got it all in there and I can double check it. So yeah. It's nearly done actually, Geeko. I was just literally like, I threw in the lookup table one and it literally took like 2 minutes to get the lookup table one. It went in so quick. But this one is going to go in like super quick as well. I'm just sorting out my tabs, you know, because they're using spaces. So I was doing the important thing and sorting out the tabs, you know, because I can't have no spaces in the code base. Spaces. But yeah, I'm just doing a quick little refactor, but it should just work. TM. We'll see though. We're gonna have to tweak some bits because theirs is tone mapped, and we don't have a tone mapper. But yeah, there it goes. Your Linux distro looks weird today. Yeah, about that. So there were some things which were announced. If you missed the announcement stream, it was on Sunday. Come back. You can take a look at that if you're interested. But the TLDR is Linux has gone bye-bye. So whilst everyone is having the exodus over to you know, from Windows to Linux, I'm having an exodus from Linux to Windows for the time being. I've still got the code. It's just rotting whilst I change things. But in the future, when RenderDoc wants to work on their alright, I'm basically doing no more graphics programming for the most part. Maybe I'll get the Windows, the Linux thing up and running. But yeah. Been working on Godly Things, custom 2D engine, and working on tileset editor that can add physics objects straight into tile and paint them. Nice. Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, having one like directly in your engine is very powerful. Obviously, you can use like that tiled program or whatever, or just just a simple text file. But yeah, having it in the engine would be way better. Lav. Amazing, isn't it? Very, very English, very British. It's very south. It's very, very southern. All right. So Ah, stupid frag color. Frag out. uh, right, so it's the same render black. That's what I always think of, it's so crazy. uh, Alright. Plenty of errors. No biggie. So we just need a bit of time. Luckily I got time. I got a G time. Global time. I think it's called that. Is that what it's called? Yes. Now, 44. What's it saying about 44? A vector 3 of... Oh, a vector 3 of time? Three-dimensional time? No. Exactly. There ain't no three-dimensional time. If I got a three-dimensional time in my code base, wouldn't that be fun? My game has 3 dimensions of time. What does that even mean? I don't know. No, it's just it's a 1D time. What's going on? Oh no, we need to include the common sky for stuff to work, which makes sense. Right, let's cut down a bunch of stuff. And the broken user land, that's what I miss the most when on Windows. Yeah, I guess so, isn't it? Everything's a bit inconsistent. You know, sometimes you open up an application, it's got terrible font rendering for some reason. I don't know the specifics of why that is. Right, so channel 0 is the yeah. It's the lookup table. Sorry, how do I do that? So it's graphic shade. This is our boy. So I want to get the sampler 2D, so it takes one of these guys. Oh, we want to make sure we generate the down samples before we go and get rid of that LOD thing, because I don't want to be living. I don't want to forget about that. Wait a minute. Does it need to have full MIP chain? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, of course it does. So we want to put something like that in, basically. So as an input, we want the sky table image. So so when we render the sky, we want a lookup table image sky shade. Yeah. Right. That's looking better. So can you do... I didn't realize you can put stuff into local variables off what... Sampler 2D. I thought GLSL didn't like doing this. Maybe I'm wrong. Hang on a minute. Okay, what's going on there? So... Or function parameters, of course. Yeah, see? Terrible. We'll do that twice, I guess. Game of frequency domain. Yeah, I vaguely understand what that means. I've seen that three blue, sorry, what was it called? Three blue, one brown video on it. But like the Fourier transform stuff, whatever it's called. Like it's a bunch of sine. It's layers and layers of sine, sine waves and stuff like that. It was really, it was interesting, but also like, yeah, I've forgotten much about it now. Yeah, I've seen there's like the Bloom kernel. Bloom kernel, the Bloom. There's like a FFT Bloom that they do in Unreal, isn't it? Where it's in that frequency domain thing, where they apply Bloom in the frequency domain of something and get those sort of nice star-looking things. E.g., Xwayland doesn't handle DPI scaling. Oh yeah, and if you also scale your stuff, right. Oh right, you're talking about missing on Linux, right? Yeah. Wow. Oh, horrible. Yeah, that's what's really interesting. You know, that sub-pixel rendering is like that was really great for certain displays, but when you got like displays which don't have those lines of RGB pixels anymore, sorry, those pixels with like um columns of RGB, it doesn't really look nice. And especially when you sort of stream that stuff over like Slack or like what's it called, or like Teams to like work people, the text always looks absolutely horrible. So it's horrible reading stuff. Ah, semicolons. Just a little bit too soon. Must have been at point of use. What does that even mean? This is the point of use. Oh. It's okay. It doesn't need to be a parameter, does it? It kind of does. Kind of does because it's in common. My life. Oh, we disabled that, didn't we? Basically, you have a signal, you turn it into an array of frequencies that compose it, and you can mess with them and do stuff. Nice. You can have a time going, and frequency for each time point. Frequency domain, we look at the same thing in reverse, where each frequency is our x-axis and keeps going on. We have some time points, aka we have multiple times or something like that. Interesting. Mind blown. Oh. What does this even mean? Damn it, GLSL. Oh. Horrible. Brag out, exactly. Oop. Just the frag out I was looking for. Anyway, it's such a weird error. But yeah, I think it just means I basically have to use it when I sample it. But then in this WebGL thing it works. So sampler constructor must appear at point of use. Well, you said I could use it in parameters earlier, function arguments, but and this is a point of use. I don't know what's going on. Well, that sucks. I guess what I'll do is I'll pass in the bindless index, and then I'll just do this thingy inside the things, right? So, so we just do that, and then we pass in a sort of like ID thing. So it's like a texture, sorry, GLSL texture 2D ID with an F for float, and voila. And I think I need to include S, all right. Hang on a minute. I just passed the LUT directly in there. Nice. I don't have to do anything else. Amazing. Come on. Let's go. Right, how we're looking. Right, I need a frag chord. I don't need a frag chord because I've already got that there. Cool. No eye resolution XY. Nice, that should just work TM. Right, we have something that kind of looks sky-ish, which is kind of cool. Let's press F9 and get up our super lovely viewer. So we look at the sky image, here it is, and stuff looks like it's animating. Whoa. But obviously the exposure, sorry, it's not tone mapped, is it? So in the scene, it looks very overexposed. So the reason why it looks better in the image viewer is because the image viewer, because it's a HDR image, I default it to 32, the white level. So turn the white level back to 1, you see it as this very overexposed image. But as we move it up, we see it. Yeah, that looks nice. Exactly, but like Jesus, you never know when I come back. But you know the times and the season. And, you know, if just like Paul said in 1 Thessalonians 5, you know the times and the seasons, so you should keep watch, and he will not come like a thief in the night. You'll be expecting him to come. Yeah. So people were aware of the times and the seasons because I had a Discord channel. I was letting them know when I was coming back. But yeah, how you doing, 6412? How you doing? I'm not doing bad. So basically, yeah, I start. If you're interested in seeing like what we're doing these days and what's going on with the project where I've been, um, take a look at the last stream on Twitch. It's sort of a sort of a personal, private, if you will, public temporary presentation that I did, and it's available on for a limited time until Twitch wants to get rid of it. I think it'll be there for 2 weeks. I'll probably do some devlogs later on, you know. So, but that one was presentation was tailored towards you guys, basically. If you wanna see all the juicy details about where I've been, what I've been doing, up on there. Yeah, exactly. That's it. Exactly. I don't know if I've become born again, but I definitely am born again now. So it's really cool. Yeah, so yeah, my life's been going through a lot of changes and things. That's really cool. Um yeah. Still lots of learning to do though. Just trying to be a better Christian, learn my Bible, learn, get rid of all my terrible sins and try and be a better evangelist, if you will. But yeah. Was you gonna say in it there? Whatever makes you happy, in it. Yeah, that'd be incredibly British. I'd have respected that. But yeah, I'm liking this. This is good. So what we can do is, well, we'll flatten out the camera for a minute. We'll get a game, and I think we'll change the orbit by 0 maybe. So we'll just be looking like straight at the horizon, spinning around. Oh, so overexposed. So we can just multiply well, divide really, but obviously multiply because it's faster. Bring down the exposure basically in the sky to get it looking a bit nicer, I reckon. The RGB multiply 0. Did it crash for some reason? Oh, it froze. Not very nice. It's not very nice. The sun was over there. It just needs to stop rotating. But it's looking kind of alright. So the camera's rotating because this guy. But the problem is if I do that, it's not gonna. Hey Zen. Yeah, I've been a Christian for a long time. 5 years now. But not a very good one. Lukewarm. Slowly getting into it. Slowly believing more and more over time. Not really taking the Bible seriously. Not really having the. I believe Jesus was real. Believe he existed. Believed he could be God. But and I had moments with the Holy Spirit as well. But yeah. Wasn't really having an ongoing relationship, every day, if you will. Yeah, that changed. 10x. uh, but yeah, what I find interesting though in the Christian space is there's it's kind of we all we all fall into the, what's the way of saying it? There's certain aspects where some Christians will be sort of have a spiritual understanding, but other times we'll just be in the world with our understanding, if you will. I don't know if I can give any prime examples of that, but I noticed it. There's some things where we're spiritually blind to as Christians, and we accept the worldly answer. And every Christian's different, got different blind spots. Yeah, it's all a journey we have to personally overcome. I don't know if I can provide any examples. Well, you're helping keep Christianity alive. It's slowly disappearing in the UK. So many churches, South Wales, have ended up for non-religious event places nowadays. Yeah, yes, I think it's sad because the more I understand about the history of the UK, is England came together over, or because of well, the part of the firm foundation of England was Christianity. You had Wessex, that's where I am based, is in that area of where Wessex was. Um, from my very limited understanding of how things went, basically Wessex took over over where England is now, and there's many different nationalities and ethnicities and all this, because obviously you had invaders coming in from like like the Vikings and stuff like that, I think. Um, and when they took the rest of the country, rather than saying you're part of Wessex now, it's more of like we're all part of a new thing together now, and all come together as under one religion, which is Christianity. And what you find out is, all these good morals that we have as British people, well, the ones which are slowly disappearing more and more as time goes on, mind you. Um, uh, the sort of being very polite, being very being very generous, being um, I'm not saying every person is this in the UK, but we have a culture of this, or had, which is disappearing. Being generous, being just like queuing on the motorway and stuff like this, right? All this stuff comes from the fact that we used to be believers in Christ. And now that we don't have it, what you get is a bunch of nice deeds without the reasons why you're doing the nice deeds or where they come from. So they're not rooted on a solid foundation. So therefore, they end up doing crazy stuff. Like, for instance, lots of people say, you do me, so you do you, I do me. As in, basically, I'll let you do what you want as long as you're happy. I do what I want as long as I'm happy. But that comes from that sort of polite vein of Britishness. But the problem with that is that inherently there is stuff which is bad. There's only so much of that which is acceptable. And so, for instance, if someone is clearly, you know, is attracted to children, are you gonna say, all right, you do you, I do me? Right? It's not really, can't really do that, can you? But these days, obviously, you get people saying, you know, oh, they're just minorly attracted, and tries to make excuse for a person who's not repentant for being attracted, and say, oh, they can't help it. But it's sin, and everyone is a slave to some sin or another. And yes, there needs to be forgiveness, but also they need to be repentant and come back. And obviously, God can help them get rid of that thing which they struggle with. But this is the nature of moving away from God, basically. What I find. Hey, Glass. I didn't realize it's Glass, or as Don Ho says, glass. Martin is religious. How about at church? Cool. Every other weekend. Oh, so you kind of go kind of regularly then. Even though they know my beliefs and my opinions on religion, they will accept it, and that's cool. Well, yeah, the more exposure you have it, the more, you know, as long as you're not being destructive to the religion, then Christian's not going to care because the more exposure you get to it, the more likely God is going to touch your heart and you're going to accept God. Um, basically. Where's the sun direction at? Yeah, we should do the down sample before we go. That is very true. So, in the sky rendering, hang on a minute. I saw that direction. Yeah, the triangle is like thin in that case. So you can't see it anymore. Right, was it ready? Perry boy. Perry boy, how you doing, sir? How you doing? That looks nice. We need an actual sun though. We need like a nice little blob. That would be nice. We can chuck a little blob in there. Don't be too hard. There was one that we saw, right? This guy. So, um, one like this. Nice little blob. We can just add it in. I got to be careful though with the different. That's the inscarin. Sun spectral radiance. DY. Yeah, doing good, buddy. Yeah. Good to see you back. Yeah, I wonder if I should put this blob of sun in first. You know what? Let's get the down sample in because I don't want to forget that. So we've got a down sampler. And looky here, it's not. Oh, okay. No, we've got an example. Don't worry about it. So So we want to make a downsample for the sky. And then that will be sky image. I think we can get a number of MIPS. That's right. Lovely. So we just need to make the sky compute shader. It's actually very easy because we just use the AMD downsampler, single pass downsampler. I just got a single header version of it, which I just made basically. So it's very, very easy to set up. We just grab a previous example, right, and just bring it over. So and then so you call it, I could call it graphics sky downsample instead, actually. It's probably better. Oh, sorry, graphics sky downsample. Keeps it a little consistent. Then what we can do is change the compute shader. Oh, we've got to use texture LOD because we're in a compute shader anyway. So we've got to manually compute the MIP. I think we can do that. I've got yeah. I think we can use texture grad or whatever it's called. Texture, I don't know. Be passing the gradient. What's this guy? Oh, I need to do .cs on there. With Vulkan, you can merge GLSL, HSL. Yeah, we're just doing GLSL, so we're just using GLSLC to do it. It's horrible, but it works. Does the job. It means I can also copy shader code from Shader Toy nice and easy in those rare cases. Crap. Yeah, so we need to go to sky downsample. So this is basically what it looks like. We include this AMD downsampler. So that is in I think it's there. Yeah, this is where the magic happens. So it's just basically a single header. So we just define some load function store and then the reduce. So how do you average it? Right? Is it a mean? Is it a max min? What do you do? So I think this is what we want anyway. I don't think it needs changing. So really we could probably have a common one, which is like RGBA 16F mean, right? But anyway, there's you can do like array layers and stuff like this, and so yeah, it's got to be like depending on the image. But yeah, right. So if we pop open this, oh, wrong one. Sky image. We should be able to view the MIP chain now. Sweet, so we're down to low MIP level. See here the pics. Oh. What's that? My rendering. There we go. Cool. Now it's got to select the right MIP level. Oh, yeah, we've got to keep it at power 2s. That should be fine. Hey, Bobaz, how you doing? Welcome back, sir. Yeah, went full Jesus, mate. Exactly. You said it, you said the words right out of my mouth. It's all about going full Jesus. It's all about going full Jesus. Yeah, it's been about 6 months, a bit over 6 months, I think. Goes in Soul Call, which compels you to sell file. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, I've got like a shared header file where I've got a bunch of like macros that work across C and GLSL, and if def the macros to work. So you can like say def structure, and it helps you define a structure that's shared between GLSL and C. But yeah, it's got to, yeah, it's the way it is. Oh, I hate this. What's going on? Why? Oh well. Come on. So that's nice. So now we just got to get an actual like MIP level. Right, so how did you do that? So using a computer shader, it doesn't automatically do the DDX, DDY stuff for you. So you have to use texture LOD or something more explicit. I forgot what the other ones are. Is it like texture grad? Yeah, this is our boy. So we want to do texture grad because it's nicer. So we basically want to compute a DDX, DDY. How'd you do that? Well, I think there's a thing called compute. I've made a thing. I think I made a thing. Yeah, it's in GPU shared. There's like a compute section. Compute F width. That might not be it. But you basically want to use the quad intrinsics, right? So your 2x2 pixels, you basically swap them over and do a thing. I think it's what we want. F width is, oh no. Yeah, so we want like a DDX. We want like a DDX1 and a DDY. They're not difficult. So DDX, swap horizontal. Other, so it's basically V take O, I think. I think that's right. So I think it's called GLSL DFDX. That's the functions usually used to do this stuff in pixel shaders. Right, partial derivative. See, you have to make sure the lane is active, right? That's another thing with it. And if your lane is not active, you get undefined behavior, right? But I think it's just a subtract. But then there'll be a certain way around. So maybe it's subtract and an ABS. I don't know. Question time. I don't know what the question is. Oh, wife to be, amazing. Congratulations. Good to see you, Glass. Hope to see you in a future one. Oh, Waylon Perry. Do you know the reason why I'm not using Linux right now? It's because of that Wayland. That Wayland did it. I had it all working just fine. I ported everything, my multi-window to Wayland. And then I tried to render doc and it didn't work. So I had two choices. Either keep my X11 backend and restore that and make sure it works on multi-window and maintain 3 Windows systems and 2 operating systems, or park Linux for the time being. So I've decided to park Linux for the time being and be a Windows boy. I've got a son, I've got a wife, there's only so much time I have. You know, we all got to grow up out of Linux someday. No. I do really want to go back. I miss Linux, but yeah. Yeah, it's just much, less stuff in the background running and taking up your resources and things like that. But anyway, Windows does the job at the moment. Yeah, but every single time it's the year of the Linux desktop, someone messes it up. Right, let's ask the AI because humans are doing a bad job. How does it work? GLSL code, please. Yeah, left take right. That's what I thought it was, right? Oh, right take left, left take right. Interesting. So you gotta know if you're a lefty or a righty, or a toppy or a bottomy. So how did you do that? Well, so since you're doing a swap, right? Since you're doing a swap, there is also another intrinsic you have, right? Where you can get like the wave index, and you can say based on you're an even or odd, if you're a right or a left, basically. So I think you can do that. Is there a way, just ask the AI about it. Yeah, subgroup C. Okay, so it is available. Yeah, that's the thread index. Yeah. See, it's basically what I was saying. I wonder if there was a better way to do it than a ternary operator, though. Okay. But, yeah. Yep. Do we need to care if it's left versus right in our compute shader example, really? Do we actually care? I don't think we do. Maybe we do. Yeah, sorry. You want the derivative to be the same across all the... Yeah, you do. Across all the ones in the quad, I think, so... Yep, so you want the same one for the DDY. See, you could make this a one-liner, and then you could basically make it work with any type, right? you can make it define. And then you won't have to define like a bunch of stuff, which could be nice. Yeah. So now there's a vertical one. So is top is a bit different, apparently. Alright, that'd be nice. I know what Microsoft is doing, but they're putting AI and everything and making everyone have Microsoft accounts. Seems to be doing it their own way. Yeah, so I haven't actually noticed any of the AI stuff on my machine currently. I can't see it. I don't know why that is. Is it because I'm using I've got an OEM build? I don't know. I haven't updated it for a while. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure the reason why, to be honest. Microsoft Paint as Copilot. Does it really? What use does it have? Does it like can it like render images for you? That's crazy. Crazy. What about Notepad? So DDX, DDY on UV. That's all we wanted, right? In a compute shader, but there we go. Sample grad. Now we can pass in the DDX, DDY and it'll automatically calculate the MIP level for us, and voila. We can scale this and check to make sure it works by making sure in a lower resolution as well, yeah? So here we go. What I'm seeing is complete terribleness. Clearly something is messed up. No. I thought of my subgroup stuff. Yeah, we got subgroup quad, intrinsics, invocation index. I think that should be fine to use without vertical. Ah, of course. The reason why it doesn't work is because this here needs to be called and put into a local variable because it's in a different branch. And so that means you're getting the left and the right go down a different branch and therefore it'd be invalid. For crying out loud. I can't. So sad. Notepad has it too. I know what it does. What a shame. This is horrible. So we'll dupe. Hang on a minute. Vec2, that's what I meant. Nice. So I guess we've got the overloads now. That'll work better, but it's not fully done because it's going to fail. And why it's going to fail is because effectively here, what we see is there's an if statement, right? So in a 2x2 quad on the screen, some of it's going to color a mesh, others are going to color the sky. And these all lanes in a quad need to be active for this to work. So what you need to do is basically put yourselves, your DDX and your DDYs up here, and then say if quad any compute this, so if any of the quads, any of the pixels in the quad have raw not equal to 0, then you need to run this calculation together. Sorry, wrong one. Don't do it. The other way around. If any of them are equal to sky, you all need to run it together. So if you have quad control, I need to put that in there then. Extension not supported. Ah. What am I doing? Made a quad. Oh, GLSL EXT. Right, it seems to work better. What we're missing though. Why has it failed to create the thumbnail viewer? It's right there, isn't it? Oh, no, that's fine. It's made it. It's just this failed. UVS sign. Right, okay, so shade.cs. Ah. UV, where are you? Oh, crap. Okay, we just need to move UV out as well. No biggie. Oh. Lovely. Oh, any redirection as well, mind you. Of course we do. Need new Vulkan. feature. Right, so in GPU-VK, there should be some features. Now, one of these guys has it. One, two, then. Where are you at? We can look in the Vulkan header actually. We got that local shader quad. VK Vulkan core. We got that. Oh, it's because I've excluded. I've git ignored my third party folder, so it doesn't want to show up. Crying out loud. Hey Joker Dan, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, I had a bit of a rebrand. Kind of lost. What's the issue here? What are you debugging right now? So we're trying to basically get MIP levels working for the sky rendering. So sky rendering is done basically. I'm just trying to make sure we've got a downsampled image. I'm in the shade function. We're just making sure it can automatically select the MIP level appropriately. That's the idea. Yeah, so I had a bit of rebrand, Joker Dan. There's a previous stream on Sunday if you want to check that one out. It's in the backlog. You can watch it in Twitch basically, but it will disappear after a couple of weeks. So catch that one ASAP as soon as you can. Shader quad control. What one is that part of it? It's not an extension, is it really? Does it really require an extension? Did not get make core. Because we used this in the previous one, surely. Anyway, let's open up my... We're going to open in VS Code now, I think, but oh well. Just get in there. Find it. Okay, it really does require one of these. Is this really the only way you can access quad any? I did a... So... Non-uniform quad all. I didn't realize I enabled this in the past. Or had to enable this. This will do it. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. How have you been? What you been up to? I believe this goes device features cage. Okay. There's no way. I guess we just chuck it in, okay. Shader, quad, control. And we'll just chuck on the P next train. Good old Vulkan. Right. Give that a go. So we finally get DDX, DDY in the... No? Where does this fit onto? Is it on the P next train of features? Hit and miss. Dog hasn't been well for the past few months, but we can do to keep him comfortable, a good life. Sorry to hear that. Hope your dog's okay. Gets better soon. Other than that, just programmed and trying to get a few businesses off the ground. Amazing. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Well, yeah. Pray and hope your dog gets better. Hope be well soon. I've been quite good. Yeah. I've been taking a break. Yeah. The VOD will go into all the details, but basically, I've been seeking closer to God, and I'm more of a Christian. Um, Taking that a lot more seriously in my life. Um, yeah, really, quite a lot of change, man. You can see all the things in the VOD. But yeah, I've got a new direction, and yeah, I also worked on the project for like a few months. Yeah, for the past few months, just getting it into this new state, basically finishing off the multi-window stuff. Doing really nice. Yeah, we kind of ended on like the multi-docking window stuff, so I finished that off and the code base in place where it is now. Why can't we enable this feature? What's going on? The features thing. What controls on my life? What is that? Is it a different thing? Same thing. Device create info, yeah. Doing all that. Features, yep, that two thing, and see what the P next. Chain them all up. Right, just run again, see what happens. What's going on? If P next is one, wasn't enabled though. what we can do is see if we can put something invalid in here, maybe, and see if it fails. I don't know how we would do that. Really gonna work, is it? Wait, did we use Vulkan 1.4? I didn't realize that we did that. Yeah, we used 1.4 apparently. Thanks, man. Cool. Good to see Summon as an anchor. Watch for Lair. Thank you. Appreciate it. Maybe my program must be recompiling, right? Surely. Okay, it doesn't work. Then compile it. 2 seconds, my wife is just calling. Hang on. BRB. Hey, welcome back. Right, so this extension was declared, but one of the following requirements is required. I don't get it, because we've got it enabled. Yeah, chain it. Yeah. What I'm doing. Often requires other extensions, specifically max. Okay, so it requires that reconvergence one as well. I did remember that seeing mentioned here. Requirements, right, this might be the problem. So it requires 1.1, Vulkan memory model, which I think we put on. And this maximum reconvergence thing. Oh. Right, so we need one of these as well. So I think that'd be the reason why. So maybe if we ran it with the... Yeah, so there might have been a problem. Well, if we ran it with the validator maybe, and we have not been doing that, potentially. But I thought we ran it with the validator anyway. Not sure. Anyway. Shader maximal reconvergence. So this like basically fixes compute shaders, I think. There's a if you look into how this extension works from memory, it's like when you start doing branching, not all of the waves can reconverge back or something like that after the if statement, as you would expect it to work. Yeah, it's you know, fix it with an extension basically. From my understanding. Right. Let's see if that wants to work. Still got the same problem, but I guess what we need is is there a GLSL version of this as well? Need to put that in the SPIRV binary maybe as well. GPU shader. Right, is there a... You know, we could get the repo, the GLSL repo, and search that. That would be quite easy. This seems to think you can do it this way. I think we're going to have to do it this way. We do want to require this. Yeah, so often I find when you Google stuff for GLSL, it basically never shows up. The best way to get it is via downloading the GitHub GLSL specification page and just grepping that. For some reason, the internet wants to be ruined. So you probably use AI or something like that, and it used to use an AI. That's my guess. Doesn't work. So can we enable? But this has already got the validation layers actually. So we're already doing validation layers, so it should show up. Right, so this really probably so SPIRV extension quad control was declared, but one of the following requirements is required. Oh, we have to pass in the string as the extension arrays. Bugger. Here, we have to explicitly poke in there. Oh, for crying out loud. Yeah, so we have to do something like 3 equal, and then this lovely thing. VK extension quad control. The fact that I've not got this typed out already means that I must have done it some other way in my shading language that I used to use, right? So I reckon they're using a different instruction inside SPIRV than I was using to do it. Shader quad control. Fine. Let's copy paste it. The other one is where's the dependencies? Cool. Let's give that a go. That should do it. Awesome. What have we done? Yeah, so this now actually renders, and we're using this texture grad. So it's using a compute shader, and it's working out the MIP level using texture grad, and it's doing a manual DDX DDY by swapping per 2x2 quad on the screen is swapping the UV across the x-axis and the y-axis and working out the difference between those, and that's your DDX DDY. We'll look at that in the shader code again, and we can see if it so shade, yeah. So basically it's like a visibility buffer approach where we've got a mesh which is rendered. It's currently invisible because it's kind of like behind, should probably make that visible. Where it's basically razor thin right now and it's going between the pixel lines. So basically what this code does is if the visibility buffer pixel is a mesh, get the mesh instance in the triangle index, and we're meant to render, shade the mesh here. That comes later on, we do the shading. But for now, we miss, right, a mesh, and we just want a sample from the sky image, which is being rendered per frame. And how fast is that actually? Because I didn't, we didn't look at that. We saw it, but I didn't really pay attention. So, oh, it's 4 milliseconds to render a sky. Bit too much there. It looks nice. Great. But yeah, we can maybe reduce the how often that happens, maybe, or the frequency of updates, or tune some parameters or resolution. But anyway, but you'll notice we do a downsample pass now afterwards. Here it is, the single pass downsample there. So what we're going to do is tweak the DDX DDY such that we can see it at a lower resolution. So if we decrease the values, then it should be very pixelated, right? Is that true? Well, I'm seeing some banding, color banding. Can we try that a bit more? I'm seeing some banding, but I don't know if that's what we're looking for, you see. It's saying it's reloading. Am I going the wrong way around about it? I'm not sure. Maybe you do want to go higher. No, sorry, it's higher, isn't it? That makes it a high. It's the other way around. So if we times it by like 10. I noticed some change. Yeah, it's looking a bit more pixelated, I think. Let's up it by 100. There we go. So now it's... Is it like linear sampled? Can we can nearest that, So let's try that as nearest it. There we go. So here's the nearest sampled. So we're seeing a sort of a MIP level look. Yeah, so we're seeing it working, right? So, cool. So it is calculating the right MIP level by looks of it. That's very nice. So we can basically just undo all that now. Cool. As we change the resolution, it will adjust accordingly, hopefully. Nice. Lovely. Hey, Tinspin. Welcome back, sir. Good to see you. Yeah, doing a complete reboot. Nah, he rose as in the Lord and our Savior rose. But yeah, it's obviously spin on my name as well. But yeah, pointing to Jesus first. But yeah. So there's a VOD that you can watch on Twitch. It'll be there for a couple of weeks. So you can watch it back. I don't know if I'm going to keep it around. It's mainly just for you guys who I want to provide an explanation of where I've been, where we're going now. But I think I'll do something else like a devlog or something for, for other people or something like this. I don't know. But yeah, it's a fun one. Check it out on the VOD channel. Sorry, not the VOD channel, on Twitch, the Sunday VOD. About 3 hours. There's lots of content in there, 77 slides. Yeah. Got a nice sky working today, which is great. I didn't think, we'll get a sky working. So this is good progress. I don't even know what we're doing next time. I did stay much later than I'd hoped. Yeah, 3 hour. Yeah, it's fine. Just do some squats, See you later, VMT. Good to see you, buddy. Glad to see you still here. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one. I hope you have a good day tomorrow. Yeah, let's do some squats, 3 hours, lift some weights. Lift. Who's been a long time viewer and they knows when we used to lift weights on stream. That was a fun one. We used to have little people used to save up their points and then rinse me with like exercises. That was a good fun one. Right. Yes, this is good. I don't even know what we wanted to do next. Oh yeah, the push-ups, Perry. Used to save them for me. Used to do the whole round of them. Yeah, I think I was like, let's get simple triangle meshes and stuff, or little cubes. Yeah, I think we should do little cubes or whatever with different colors, and we're going to test out HDR basically, isn't it? And then do, or do we even need to do that? I think we might be able to just go straight to the tone mapper, maybe. I'm not sure just yet. Maybe we can go to the tone mapper, I think. That'll be fun as well. Yeah, I'll have a think. I'll post it in the Discord. I'll let you guys know what we do next. But glad I've got the sky rendering done. That looks quite nice. There is some banding going on though. I'm not sure where that's coming from. Maybe it won't be that noticeable if it's slowed down a bit. We do kind of want a bit of a sun though. Didn't really get a chance to do that today. I want to poke that blobby sun in there. But then it's like... Anyway, we can always improve it later. Doesn't matter. So for now, let's go into the sky shader and just get rid of the copying that we're doing. Sorry, this 0.1 times. It's going to be very bright, but that's okay. My eyes. Lovely. Beautiful. Rightio, guys. In the meantime, come and hang out in the Discord, have a chat. Talk about C programming and, I don't know, all things program related. Basically, come and hang around on the channel. Next stream will be on Thursday, 7 p.m. GMT. And there's also one on a Friday as well, 2 p.m. GMT, and on Sunday as well. So that's all in the stream schedule. And yeah, I think that's about it. But yeah, I hope you have a good rest of your week, and I hope to see you all on Thursday. Good to see you all. Let's have you back to Perry. It's good to see you, buddy. Glad to see my mum. Yeah. I'll do 3 hours of squats, exactly. See you, Geeko. Have a good one, guys. See you.